What's going on, Broncos country? Welcome to another edition of Broncos Daily with your host, Kurt Valenti. You want the latest Broncos news, Broncos talk? Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share so obviously other Bronco fans can see it, and make sure you comment. Once you comment, I will get to your comments throughout the week, Monday through Thursday. If not, we still have a couple more Fan Take Fridays. Your comments, your thoughts, your questions, the show all about you. We are going to transition once the regular season starts. It won't be Fan Take Friday, obviously, because we'll be doing our breakdowns, predictions, and all that stuff. But we will make time during the week. Maybe a Fan Take Tuesday, maybe a Fan Take Wednesday. We will figure it out. Before we get going today, I want to give a big shout out to Kalshi for sponsoring us and supporting the show. Use code FANARCHFOOTBALL to get $10 when you trade 10. So big shout out to Kalshi. Let's get to some Bronco football talk, guys. Yesterday, in training camp, the biggest fight/brawl in the Sean Payton era. Started with Bo Nix, Nick Bonito, the offense, the defense, a spirited, practice after that. Both teams talking trash, both teams celebrating, but it pretty much started where Nick Bonito bull rushed the offensive line and hit Bo Nix and knocked Bo Nix down. Bo Nix got up, threw the football at him, and the offense versus defense in their face, little skirmishes, but the biggest kind of fight since Sean has been there. And, I think it's a good thing. I do. I mean, I don't think it's a good thing that our quarterback's getting hit, but I think that it's a good thing that sometimes there are these little fights and skirmishes that break out in a football training camp, right? You're also looking at these guys have been hitting each other. And even though they did play one game Friday night, they've been doing this for now 3 weeks, right? So, they're practicing with each other, they're hitting each other, and it gets to where it's like, listen, it wears on you, right? But I love the Bo Nix mentality, right? Where, he's not afraid. And you saw that, was it his rookie year ago or last year in Vegas, right? Where he was just talking trash, getting in people's faces, right? And, it's what triggers him. Now, Vance Joseph afterwards in a press conference did say, like, we don't hit, we don't hit Bo Nix, basically saying like Nick Bonito was wrong for that, right? So, but I love how the offense stood up for Bo, which they always do, right? Because Bo stands up for them as their leader. They're going to stand up for Bo. And listen, the defense didn't back down either. And then when the defense made plays, the defense was all jacked up. When the offense scored a touchdown, they were all, so it was like bickering back and forth. Listen, it's all still good love, right? They're the Broncos. They're together. It's not like there's animosity here. It's not like these guys don't like each other. You heard them last year. They love each other. They love this locker room. But, when Bo does stuff like that, and it sets the tone of, listen, don't F around with me, those guys get behind them, right? And when this happens in a game against somebody else, that defense is going to rally behind him too, right? I mean, this is between the offense and defense, Bo and the defense in practice. So obviously they're at other sides. But in a game situation, they're together. That defense will have Bo's back. So I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it. Again, I don't like the fact of Bo getting hit, right? And he was okay. He's fine. But, listen, crazy things have happened when you hit your quarterback. And Benito was wrong for that. Vance Joseph adamantly said that. So that'll get cleaned up. But yeah, the feistiness, let's go, baby. This team, and you saw this in the defense on last Friday night in the preseason game against Atlanta. You saw that defense have a feistiness and play with that feistiness. And the feistiness is what I think could be the difference of making this defense the best defense in football. Last year, they were probably top 3, but this can make it the best defense in football. Playing with that attitude, playing nasty, right? We said we saw that little difference Friday night. But yeah, so interesting. The biggest one since Sean, everyone kind of, it's over, it's done with, and hey, we're together. But listen, don't mess with Bo, baby. Don't mess with Bo. But also don't mess with this offense and don't mess with this defense because they will, like I said, they will stand behind. They will protect each other. Talking a bit about yesterday's practice. Jalen Waddle, we said he was back on Monday, but back in full pads yesterday. Big 30-yard completion from Bo. So he's getting back into it. There's no word if he is still going to play on Friday night. We will see what Sean decides to do with that. But great news that he is back. And like I said, we still have a decent amount of days to opening night, right? So every practice that Bo and Waddle can get together, throw it while you're in full pads, whether it's team 7-on-7, any kind of drills, it's going to help, right? Because when you see it, and again, listening yesterday to a couple of shows, they're just saying it's like it's beauty. It's just beauty when Bo's throwing to Waddle, and it's something we have not had. It's something Bo has not had. It is something Bo has not had since he has been the Bronco quarterback. That legit deep threat number one receiver that could do a little of everything. Cortland's still a number one, but Cortland's really not that deep down the field threat. He's more of the intermediate underneath guy, which he does a great job. He can still go over the top, but he's not the speed guy. Now you got a speed guy that's a legit number one receiver. So great news that he's back. And let's just keep them. Let's keep both of these guys healthy, but let's keep Waddle healthy, and let's keep getting them again. I don't know if he's going to play on Friday. Word has not come out on that, so we will see. Before I continue with our last two topics for Denver Broncos, I want to mention our great friends at Kalshi. Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at the end of season's end? On Kalshi, America's number one prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. Will the Bengals win the NFC AFC championship this season? For the division, the Cincinnati Bengals, for $100, will take back a $281.12 payout for the Cincinnati Bengals to win the AFC North. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use Fan Arch Football to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI, Kalshi. Trade on anything. So a big shout out to our friends at Kalshi, again, for their support and their sponsorship. And guys, go check it out. I do like the Bengals to win the AFC North this year. Believe they're at like 39% to win the AFC North. I do like them. I think it's big with Joe Burrow coming back. Obviously, they got Burrow, Chase, Higgins, that offense. I think the defense, is a little better, and I think that gets it done in the AFC North. Let's get back to some Bronco football. News came out yesterday, and again, we have not heard anything what Sean says what they're going to do on Friday night. But news has come out that the Green Bay Packers on Friday night in our home preseason opener will be playing their starters. And I love it. I think this is awesome for both sides of the ball, especially the defense, right? This defense, and I know Atlanta played their starters, but it was Atlanta, right? Atlanta is not going to be, they're not. Now, they have a shot in their division because their division is so bad. So I'm not going to say they have no chance, but they're not, kind of a threat. The Packers are, right? The Packers are always this Super Bowl threat. You got Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, the younger receivers, a great defense with Parsons when he comes back. So I'm not, we don't think he's going to be playing, but, I think this is a great test on Friday night at home, especially with this Packer offense. Matt LaFleur, great play caller. Hasn't gotten it done over the hump to get to a Super Bowl and beyond, but this is going to be a good test for the Denver Broncos, and I'm happy it's happening. And the same thing on the defense, and the same thing on our offensive side with the Packers defense. Let's play their starters. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we could run the ball against them. Let's see what Jonah Coleman looks like. RJ Harvey. Let's see what Bo Nix looks like. Bo Nix supposed to be back, right? So let's rev up a little bit. Even if it is 7, 8, 10, 12 plays, whatever it is, let's go against their competition and just give us a couple reps and then get out of there. So I like it. Broncos country. What about you? Do you like that their starters are playing? I do. Because I don't, I know they're saying Bo's going to play the third game and I don't think the teams play that third preseason game anymore. This is like the main preseason game now, right? So this is pretty much it. I don't think we're going to see much of the Broncos starters in game 3 next week, if any. I know he said Bo played, but I'm very skeptical on that. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. If it is, I think it'll be very short. So this is where we're going to get our last work in. And let's go do it against a good team. Let's go do it against their ones and see what we got. Guys, before I get to our comments for the day, I want to give you guys an awesome thank you. For all the subscribers, for all the followers. Obviously, you could check us out on YouTube, TikTok, but check us out on Facebook. We put some really cool questions up there for you guys to answer. You guys do a great job. It's going to be part of our Fan Take Friday tomorrow with the answers. If you want to just listen to the podcast version, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, but you know where to find Broncos Daily. But thank you guys for all your support. I love doing this. I cannot wait till once this season starts, we start breaking it down. So thank you again. Let's get to a couple of comments before we get out of here for today. I'm going to start with Harry Leland. Kurt, all I needed to hear is that Marvin Mims Jr. is back and running free. Yeah, again, I'm not saying he's 100%, but there's probably a lot of players that aren't 100%. We just got to get him 100% ready to go week 1. Again, does it matter do I care if he plays this Friday or next Friday? I don't. I mean, he's a veteran. He's going to be returning. He knows his little specialty roles right now in the receiver room. But great to have him back at some capacity. And listen, it's just keeping him healthy. I mean, it's not about now. It's about week 1 in this regular season. So let's just keep him healthy. I want to go to Kenda Hickson. I agree we need a vet coverage linebacker. It's been a weakness for years. What is your opinion on Waddle playing preseason? I think it's important to get valuable reps with Bo. On the other hand, if Waddle got hurt, I would have a heart attack, pass out, and die. LOL. Denver Broncos for life. And then Ray Ross says, I don't think you died, buddy, laughing, but I understand what you're saying. Listen, if he's healthy, let's play him Friday night, right? I mean, if there's any question, if there's a 2% question of should we play this guy, then don't play him because obviously it doesn't mean anything. I think he's getting the reps though in like the more important start. Even though if he's playing in the preseason game, that doesn't mean he's going to get, reps, meaning catches and balls thrown, right? Because it's going to dictate what the defense does, and you're not going to have a lot of you're not going to have a lot of snaps in this preseason game with the ones, right? So, listen, he could play and not get any balls thrown to him. I mean, I don't think that would happen. I think they would probably try to, get a ball or two to him if he's going to play. But I think he's getting all that reps. Like him and Bo are doing all this in practice. Now, it helps when you're in pads, like Waddle just came back yesterday. It helps when it's in a team situation, right? Obviously the 7-on-7 is great, but when, Broncos go team and he's in it and it's kind of quote unquote live in practice, it's good that they're working on that, right? Would it be great if he played a little Friday? Of course. I don't think it's the end of the world if he doesn't. I don't think it's like alarming. Why isn't he playing, right? The same thing with J.K. Dobbins and anybody who's banged up. Like, let's not risk it for a preseason game to say, oh, look, he's okay. I mean, we still have a couple of weeks before this opener. Let's be smart and make sure he does that. But I think they're fine. They just, the practices now, and I think it was a question when, was Bo going to be ready early in training camp? Then Waddle got hurt. Now that they're both kind of back, I mean, they're both vets. They've both been there, done that. So you give them this extra 1, 2, 3, almost 3 to 4 weeks getting ready for that opener in Kansas City. I'll take that, and I think that'll be valuable. But that's going to do it for another edition of Broncos Daily, guys. Again, thank you guys for all your support. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, and of course, comment. We got unfinished business, baby. We got unfinished business. Like we said, we saw the little, fight skirmish today. The let's go. I love it. The nastiness on this defense. Let's get it continue. Let's continue it. And again, not even starters, everybody. Play with that nastiness. Like, let's have that mentality. I love it. But that's going to do it for another edition of Broncos Daily. Check back tomorrow. And as always, go Broncos. Have a good day.